All right. Should be live. We should be live. Welcome, welcome.
What's happening, Nate?
Welcome, everyone.
Good to finally meet
Gary?
you virtually.
Yeah. So we'll let everybody kind of like flood in here over the next couple minutes before we really deep dive this thing. I know a lot of people are going to be interested in this one. I'm interested in this one. Gary, you've brought in some new footage today that makes us go, wait a second, maybe we don't have this quite as right as we thought we did.
Yeah. You know, I posted that original video, I don't know, a couple days ago now, and later that evening we're getting ready to go live, and I was contacted you about something. Maybe you sent me the photos first, but a bunch of people sent me the same photos that you ended up sending me, like, hey, what do you think about this? There's a nipple there. I'm like, well, man, that makes me question everything I know about life. You know, you're not going to see a nipple through body armor.
Yeah.
And I was, you know, actually that evening, I went on the live stream. I was like, hey guys, I think I got this wrong. And, you know, just for the record, folks, you know, I don't mind getting things wrong. Again, I try not to, but I'm not going to let, you know, my ego get in front of my integrity, and we want to do things right. It's simple as that.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're here for. Like, what's funny is the viewers don't know, me and Gary have been talking about this and like swapping ideas back and forth privately for 2 days now, trying to figure this out together. So I know some people were like, Nate said this, Gary said this. Guys, we've been working on this together.
Yeah.
Just trying to, and we're not trying to get who's right, who's wrong. We're trying to figure out what the hell happened, because there's so much bad information and so much weird shit in this. That I don't think we have the answers here, but I think we're gonna try to give our best educated guess together about what we think. I think we're both kind of moving towards the same direction on this one, that perhaps we're going to show you guys new footage that Gary showed of a side profile of the impact, and the way the shirt raises almost up to his eyeball. I don't know, Gary, that one's kind of like the most I don't want to call it conclusive, but the thing that's swapped me almost back the other way.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
here's what did it for me. Again, you know, after I got off that live stream, you know, I was like, man, let me go through this, make sure if I got it wrong, let's figure this stuff out. But here's the problem that I have with all this. All right, so if he doesn't have plates on, did hit a plate, we're saying that a 30-06, and I know there's a question of even whether or not it's 30-06, and I'm perfectly fine entertaining those things as well. But regardless,
we'll talk about that a little bit later.
We have a rifle round that we're saying that, you know, we have a direct neck shot. Well, any rifle round, I don't care if it hits vertebrae, whatever else, we're going to have an exit wound. And that exit wound is going to be significantly larger than the entrance wound. We're going to see profuse bleeding right away, just like we saw. Everything that we saw in the front, we're going to see at least that in the back, and we never see that. And there's you know, footage.
And probably more extensive. That exit wound is going to be 2 to 3 times the size. It's going to rip and tear tissue with it. To your point, I didn't know that there was no exit wound until you brought that up to me. That changes a lot of possibilities here for me. To your point, like, you know, 30-06, I've got 2 Browning Belgian-made 30-06s. You shoot a deer in the rib cage and it's going through both ribs. So no, a human vertebrae is not stopping a 30-06 round at 200 meters. It's just physically not a thing.
And for everybody else saying, you know, it hit his collarbone. A collarbone is not going to deflect around like that at 30-06 either, or really even any.
Maybe a pistol round. Maybe you could entertain. But a high-powered rifle round is not going to deflect like that off collarbone. So let's
that collarbone was there.
Let's start, because again, and so everybody knows, when I first saw the footage and I first saw the shots, and like I told Gary, and when we were talking privately, I thought this was a deflection off the vest. That was my initial immediate based off that. But then we have all the photos, which I'll pull up, that do clearly show Charlie Kirk does not have a vest or plates on in these specific photos. But as Gary's point brought up, is we have no continuity of timeline of events here. And I'll pull these up here so we can look at them, because this is kind of where we started, which kind of made us both say, okay, well, if this is the case, then he doesn't have plates on, right? So I'll pull that up right in my StreamYard go. Oh, stand by, guys. Somehow, oh, I'm on the wrong tabs. All right, should be able to add this to stage. All right, if we blow this up, this is kind of the red herring for, there is no, now again, we could talk about maybe plates aren't covering the nipple, but I mean, in a shirt this thin to where you could see his nipples, you would see plate outlines here.
I 100% agree.
So in these particular, and there's 2 other photos, you can tell that Charlie does not have bulletproof plates on. That's, I don't think that's really debatable. I think the question then becomes, is that necessarily, did he not put plates on? I think that's where we're moving to now. So I think maybe, Gary, if you could show this side profile view, because we're going to show first up front the images that made us think, okay, this can't be plates, but now let's show the viewers the new footage that makes us go, okay, this looks like plates. So I'll add that to the stage here.
Yep. All right. So what we're looking at right here, folks, is some Premiere Pro. I'll try to make this as big as possible. You guys can see as big as possible. Anyways, all right. So this was footage that somebody sent me, and I also have seen the raw footage of this as well, but this is slowed down, obviously, so we'll just hit play.
That shirt is, yeah, it's all the way up to his cheekbone or his cheek.
Yeah.
So we see this, that you can almost certainly see, it almost looks like the left side right below the collarbone that gets hit.
Yep. And there is, and by the way, the video of this was actually intended to show this person, which I've already seen some comments down there.
Right. The spotter.
Yeah. So I have a video that I'll play at least as an explanation for that identifies who that is and who that is to Charlie. Look, that person back there is clearly behind the security perimeter. It would only make sense that it's somebody that Charlie is close with, and that is confirmed at least through this video that I'll show you guys. I actually came across it just before this. I screen recorded it, and I think it needs to be addressed as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, this is hard to argue that is a direct hit to the neck with a 30-06 round, and
Yeah.
that effect is happening off of that. I know I initially we were trying to think of like, okay, is this like the vortex of the round, the vacuum of the round? It's a 30-06 round producing that much vacuum to like to pull a shirt this high up on the head. You're more of a ballistics guy than me. To me, I don't see that as a possibility, maybe, but.
Well, no, let's while you're still sharing that. So this is the raw footage I had from this video that I posted today. Again, folks, if you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. And of course, this tab is right here. But I will just show you a quick clip. Let me see if this is it. That was a message that I got. And this is really hard to scroll through on this view, but I will try to find. Yeah. All right. So this is a 50 cal.
We are within a bullet's diameter of that flower.
Okay.
The tiniest wrinkle from the bullet shockwave in the tissue.
Didn't even move it.
It did something. So until it actually impacted a playing guard, nothing.
Wow.
As you can see, even with the so I think that debunks that whole theory of creating a low pressure vacuum, whatever you want to call it. Air turbulence. It's just not. That's not what caused that.
Well, so Nick Irving's not going to be a big fan of you showing that video since, I don't know if you've seen his claims that a 50 cal round will rip your arm off from 12 inches away. So that doesn't help that one.
That's high speed ballistics, guys. You can check out the whole video. It's actually pretty interesting. But that's what they talk about in the first round that they shoot is actually within an inch of the dummy's a ballistic mannequin's arm, and it doesn't move or anything like that. And they said, well, I guess it doesn't rip his arm off. And that was clearly a kind of a throwback to Nick, unfortunately.
Do we have so I saw in the comments, because this is also something we've talked about, it doesn't appear, or we didn't think at first, it appeared as if there was any damage to the shirt, right? After the bleeding starts coming out, because that was kind of a sort of another red herring of like, okay, well, if he would have taken a 30-06 round to the chest and would have fractured, it would have ripped a huge hole in his shirt. But you did have a picture that actually looks as if that may actually be the case, that there was potentially high collarbone-esque hole in the shirt. Do we have that?
I
think I might have that if not.
Talk and entertain the crowd and I'll find it real quick.
Yeah. So yeah, there's another picture in still frame of it either we can't tell if it's blood or if it's potentially actually sort of that high collarbone level hit that refracted up. What we're thinking potentially, right, is we have all these pictures of Charlie in no vest, but were those early in the day? Was he doing a sound check? Did he get an elevated security threat from his security team that said, hey, we need to go throw on the vest? No, I'm not talking about the microphone, guys. Not on Charlie's right side microphone. We're going to slow it down. You can see the blood start to come out, and it's right below the bullet hole at the collarbone level. There's also a hole on that side. So we're not talking about the microphone. I knew what you...
Throw that picture up there, Nate. And to give you guys context, this is a still that I pulled from the actual video. And I know a lot of people...
here we go.
A lot of people will say that's bloody. Even when I sent this to Nate originally, he was like, that looks like blood. But the thing that you don't know about this, and again, I show it in slow motion in the first video.
That's not blood now that I'm looking at it.
So a couple days ago, but when you look at it through the video, you actually slow it down the video. That spot is literally, that spot is the apex of where his shirt goes up to his left ear and it comes down. This is after his shirt's already went up and it comes down. And then that spot is in multiple frames. Even though the shirt is continuing to move, it stays in the exact same spot. And then a moment later, we start to see blood come out and it covers that spot.
He almost does seem to have the outline of small plates on in some of these still frames that we have where he actually gets hit. It's hard to tell, guys. I mean, like, again, we don't have anything super conclusive, but this does actually look like a potential bullet hole in the shirt to me.
So Nate, click back over to that Premiere Pro and I'll show the sequence that I have captured for the that I think does clearly show a vest. And again, I kind of outline this.
I know that it's
the video. The
chat. I'm looking at the chat, and the chat is so split. There's no, yes plates, no plates, and the guys. I know this is what we're trying to figure out. It's not. I wish we had an easy like. Oh, you can see it here. This is what I first saw that made me think before the footage of the pictures of seeing Charlie's nipples and no plates. This I automatically thought looked like he had plates on and got hit in the
plates. If you can see this, you can see where everything looks flat. To even here in that first picture at the very top, it looks like there is an outline of and then he gets hit. That plate, you see the bottom of that plate, it moves up, it continues to move up. You see this whole mass moving up with his chest, and then it starts to fall downward. But you see it, and then his shirt gets almost tucked underneath those plates. That's, I mean, I feel like that's pretty conclusive. It's still not, guaranteed or anything like that. And again, I'm perfectly fine with being wrong. But here's my thing. At the end of the day, it's like people tell me if he doesn't have plates, that's like you tell me, hey, Gary, there's not a hole in your tire, but my tire is continuing to leak air. There's something there. And when we don't have an exit wound, and when we have the shirt doing what it's doing, you got to explain those physics to me. You got to come up with a better explanation for me.
So to your point, and my stance has been from the very beginning, I didn't believe the FBI 30-06 story, regardless. It just didn't make sense to me. I really don't believe it now that we have footage of, and I'll show you guys some pictures of him not leaving with a weapon. Gary, I think we're both in agreement. There is a 0% chance this is a direct hit to the neck with a 30-06 round.
I think there's 0%.
I don't think this 0%.
Yeah.
So if this isn't a direct hit to the 30-06 with the 30-06 round, we have a few possibilities here. One, he was shot with a different caliber round, direct hit, much smaller caliber round to not leave an exit wound, pistol round, right? Now we're talking handgun potentially. Or it's a refraction off the plates with a high-powered rifle round. I think that's the two options.
Let me challenge you a little bit on a couple of those things. So where we are talking about a smaller caliber round, I have a problem with, and no deflection. Now I have a problem with the entrance wound being so large, because that's a pretty big hole there. So I'm on board with.
Yeah,
I
like
think
that's not a 9mm round. Is essentially like a 9mm pistol round.
And quite frankly, it looks like it's elongated. Like I've seen dudes shot in the neck, and even with a 5.56, I don't know that I've seen anyone shot in the neck with a 30 cal. But I can tell you, like 5.56, you couldn't even find it. Like you had to look for it. But a 30 cal, it's going to leave a small hole. But that thing is like freaking. It's a large hole. And it stays a hole long before it starts bleeding. So that's my only challenge on that kind of hypothesis a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about. I'm not saying I think this was a pistol round. I don't think that, unless it was a 4.5, 45 or something huge. I don't know. But what I mean, my point is we're kind of excluding the idea that it's a direct shot from 200 meters from around the size of a 30-06 round. I don't think that's a possibility.
No, I think we're in agreement on that.
Let's see how come. Oh, here we go. There is some things I want to talk about with potentially this 30-06. I want to show you guys this picture. We've all seen it, and there's some things I noticed nobody has talked about that I noticed that I want to get your take on this. All right. So here is the supposed murder weapon that the FBI told us. They found this in the woods. What, 2-3 hours after the shooting, they announced it?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing I think right out the gate is, why the fuck is it nighttime, and why are you having to use flashlights to take this picture if this rifle was found at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a sunny day in Utah? Anybody in the chat got anybody thought about this? Or
sun goes down early in Utah, Nate.
At 5 p.m. in
That's
September?
A good question.
Okay.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, I guess they could.
Uh-oh, we lose you? Did we lose Gary, or did we lose me?
Nope, I'm back. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yep, we got you.
I was just saying, to play devil's advocate a little bit, I guess, they could have been processing the entire scene. They could have been there a couple hours and collected it, and then,
Yeah, but they put the announcement out at about 5 p.m., I think.
Yeah,
put this picture out.
That doesn't necessarily mean they moved it off site, but I'm with you. I think it's weird either way. And they could have sent a photo out later. And apparently this photo was leaked.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And again, because again, we're trying to get as much compiled with that. Also, here's another one I want to show you. I had a viewer send me this for everybody who said, do I have it? Oh, here we go. I've had everybody who said that this kid snuck the 30-06 in his skinny jeans, and we've seen pictures of that. A viewer sent me this, guys. This is what a 30-06 looks like if you try to put it in pants. It is obnoxious, and this one I don't think even has a giant scope on it. As you can see, I mean, this was not snuck in this kid's skinny jeans. Was it broken down, brought in a backpack? Maybe. If that's the case, he broke it down, he reassembled it, he takes the shot. Well, we see him fleeing the scene. He doesn't have this rifle. So he broke it down again in 10-15 seconds, put it in a backpack, fled the scene, and then reassembled it and put it in the woods for the police to find. How's that story sound to you?
Yeah, it sounds pretty implausible. Like in the video that shows him jumping off the roof, he does have something in his hand, but what it doesn't look like is something long enough to be 40 inches. I actually included that piece in that video that I posted earlier, and I took it out just because the video was getting long. I was like, it's kind of hard to tell dimensions from that shitty ass video that was taken on a potato, but it doesn't look like a rifle that's 40 inches, and that's a Mauser M68. I think they said it was the shortest variant of that is 43 inches, I think. And like that rifle, I got a rifle right up there by the 2A up there. That one is 40 inches, so it'd be shorter. And that doesn't look like what he's carrying. Like just in comparison to the dimensions of his body and how long it looks, it doesn't make sense, and it does seem very unlikely that he'd be able to, pull that barreled action out of that stock and then throw it in a bag. And then the question is, if that's what he did, and he had it in a sack or a towel,
and he put it back together to dump it,
or did the ATF put it back together? And if they did that, why?
Yeah, none of that makes sense. All right, so I'm with you. Let's see. Can we pull? Where was it? The picture back up of the side profile of that. We have the actual video of the chest. I don't know if we can even show that. Right? I'm not sure.
Which exact
side,
video?
the side profile where we actually see his shirt, his whole shirt, sort of lift up almost over his face. We started with it early.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I'll pull that up. And I do have the non slowed down version of this, but I
think it's this one. Yeah. Oh, and I got another picture, another side profile picture we're going to take a look at here after this.
Sweet. All right. Let me make that.
I mean, I don't see how that's a direct hit to the neck with that shirt. I mean, maybe the recoil, the body from potentially getting hit in the spine rocks that shirt up. I mean, for me, these ones lend me to think that he has body armor on.
Well,
plates,
also,
not body armor, but plates, not Kevlar. You know what I mean? But
those
ballistic plates.
Yeah, something, right? Something that clearly deflected, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's some I don't know. But the fact is I don't think we can get away from the idea that something deflected that round upward. We don't have any evidence of an exit wound. There's plenty of footage where he falls down. You can see his back. There's no blood on his back. He's already been, pouring out a couple liters of blood out of the front, and there's nothing on the back. So
yeah.
Like none of that jives or makes sense to me. And I'm willing to accept anything that can explain those two things. So,
well, I think for both of us, the only thing that took us away from thinking this was plates to begin with was the pictures of him very clearly not in body armor.
Yeah.
Everything else to me lends to that. Okay. So if we can explain him going and putting body armor on, I think that's a pretty easy. We come back to the conclusion that this looks like plates. But I do want to take another, because we talked about how, okay, was he out there at a mic check? And he was there early, but I do have these pictures that are very clear that we can look at, that are very, very clearly with the whole massive crowd there. Let me get these ones up. And there's some interesting stuff about these pictures as well. Let's see. This one?
those are the ones
yeah, okay. Yeah, these I think are interesting because there may be let's see, here we go, share. All right, pulling it up right now. This picture, I can pull it out. This one. Oh, we got a bunch of different share screens going here, guys. All right, so see if I can zoom in on this. I should be able to. Okay. This to me, we'll do a little bit less than that so we can get a good side profile. And then we're going to look at the next one that shows his back. What do we think here? To me, it looks like the left side, I kind of see a breast, maybe a little bit of nipple. But on the right side, is that a microphone pulling up? To this to me, doesn't look like he's got chest
plate.
I
agree. I would almost say that almost guarantees he doesn't have a chest plate on right there.
And so what I want to show the next picture is, let's see, is it this way? Let's see, get through it. Did I not upload it? God, I'm going to have to upload it.
If you don't have it, I do.
I don't have it. All right. It's the one zoomed out. It's the same picture, but we can see the crowd.
Hold on. I got it right.
I sent it to you on Instagram. Yeah. There, guys, obviously he very clearly
this one
does not have plates on. Here we go. And you can see here, this is the middle of the show. Everyone's there in the crowd. Now, I'm not saying this disproves the plate theory. I'm just saying this does tell us that at some point before he gets shot, he's sitting there talking to the crowd, full crowd, without any plates on. As far as I can tell, I don't see any
The only weird,
possibility of plates here.
I agree on the front. The only weird thing that I see, I don't know if you can zoom in and the rear of him. It looks like there's a
You're going to have to. You got your screen if you can zoom in
Um,
on it.
You know what? I'll just drop it into. I'll drop it into Premiere Pro real quick. Yeah.
Back of the chair kind of looks like in this that he may have back plates on.
Yeah, it looks like he has something, whether it's a
rear looks like he's got a back plate on, but you can very clearly see on the front he doesn't have that the whole left side of his chest and pectoral muscle.
Yep, I agree.
You can see that there's no plates there.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah. And again, I don't know. Somebody sent me some comments. I saw it multiple times that like he went out, did a meet and greet. He sat down, did a mic check. Before he was like, it threw out hats and all that other stuff.
Yep.
And then he left again. I don't know if that's true, or whatever else. But if we look here, what I will say, if we look at his back, like that doesn't look anatomically correct. I don't know if you're sharing my screen. I'm looking at that. Share my screen.
So I do have I just got a message. I have a guy who is confirmed was in the front row. He's the guy in the red hat. See the guy in the red hat, guys?
Yep.
From him, okay? And we might have him on the show as well because he's interested in telling his story. He said, he just messaged me and said, there was no sound check. He arrived to meet some supporters, then came out to the crowd. He did not have plates on, and I swear that he was shot with a pistol. Again, that's
From someone there.
Front row, gentleman in the front row. So if that's the case, right? And again, we're trying to figure all this out. It looks as if, he doesn't have plates on. But what also is weird here is Charlie was very well known for wearing plates at these events.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, right? Is that what you've heard as well?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've actually had people message me on X, saying the exact same thing, that are close to his team at least and do know Charlie.
Yeah. I've heard that as well. Again,
the message I
trying
got,
to do our best with the information that we got.
Yeah, so the exact message I got from this guy says Charlie wears his plates pretty much all the time now. I've heard Erica insist, but he refers to his favorite vest as being stealth, whatever that means. When I have confirmed 100%, I'll let you know, because I was asking him, hey, you claim to know this guy. Can you confirm whether or not he had plates on during this event? And he said,
so yeah, they said the gentleman, he's in the black shirt, the red hat. I'm talking to him right now. And he said he's a law enforcement officer, retired after 21 years. So yeah, I mean, that's very, very interesting, right? From a timeline of events. Also here we see the crowd. It makes it even more and more complicated, right?
It does.
Because now we're going, okay, well, but also I do agree with you when I look at those pictures and I look at the impact of the shot. I don't see how it's possible that didn't hit him in the chest.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, you know more about ballistics than I do. What is a possibility of that shirt being yanked all the way up like that off of a direct neck hit? Is there any?
I just think it's so unlikely. I can't find any explanation. Like, there's definitely, I guarantee you I have some footage somewhere where I was shooting some dummies, the ballistic dummies with a shirt on. And then I do have a footage where a guy shot a ballistic dummy in the face. And again, the whole ballistic, it moves, but nothing happens to his shirt. I can't explain that. I don't know that. And again, my other big problem with all of that is, well, why don't we see an exit wound?
To me, that's a huge red flag. no exit wound on a high-powered rifle shot on a human being in the neck. That's not physically possible.
And
You're
yeah, and I've seen people say in the comments, because there is a picture with where he's wearing a chain, it looks like, and I think it is a cross in there. Like there's no jewelry, there's no microphone equipment.
No, you can see his tiny little studio mic, right? The little one.
Yeah,
but that's
I don't think
guys,
anything would explain.
that's a little foam microphone that's an inch long. Let's take some super chats and see what the community has to say, huh? As we rack our brain against the wall with this. All right, lingo. I don't know whose or whose. We got stuff from both sides of the chat, so we'll just read them off. Off topic, but there's a reason you aren't on Twitter. Also, no exit wound, and how I knew he was gone before the initial announcement. Are you on Twitter? I'm not on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter.
Oh, so that's for me. I don't know. I honestly, every time I try to figure out how to use Twitter, I don't know how to post with it. So I don't use TikTok, Twitter, Rumble, or any of that stuff. I'm on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you, brother. Krogniak, $20. He wasn't wearing body armor. He was shot in the back of the head. So I've seen this one. I think this is pretty easily disprovable. We can talk about it. Of people think that was an exit wound out the front. The neck wound is the exit. You can see the bullet from slow frame. You literally drew a circle around it. Nothing about that exit wound tells me that that's an exit wound here in the front. If you've seen an exit wound, guys, it usually tears and rips flesh, and it is an ugly business on the backside of an exit wound a lot of times. What's your thoughts on that, Gary?
I mean, maybe it could be an exit wound for a 9mm, but the thing is, what we're left with is like, well, where's the evidence?
The rock of the chest.
Well, even like getting hit in the back of the head, there's no trauma. I think that trauma would be, it'd be obvious. The other thing too, you can see the bullet, and I've seen this in a lot of comments, folks. With these phones that are filming in 24 frames, 30 frames, 60 frames, 120 frames, it's scientifically impossible that you will catch a bullet in any frame. Like it would be a blur that you wouldn't even be able to tell if you even saw it at all. You won't. Like I know in like the Trump during Butler, there was a bullet caught mid-frame.
Those are high-powered professional cameras.
Well, it was a guy shooting a camera, and I don't even remember his shutter speed, but it was like in the hundreds of thousands. Like you're not going to catch a bullet flying through the air or even exiting a person on any of these things, right? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that to me. I mean, again, I don't think either of us are claiming that we've got this thing figured out. I'm open to all possibilities, but that one I don't see either. Anthony said, "Could the lift be a cross necklace he wears?" Like as if, yeah, but how does the necklace lift the whole shirt up if he's hit in the neck? Maybe the shock of the body, but is that? I don't know.
I don't think it sounds plausible. I don't think like even like the hydrostatic shock wave that is going to be going through his body. I don't think anything like that we're seeing there, a shot to the neck, would generate what we're seeing. I mean, like
the force.
Yeah, like everything that I'm seeing where like this whole thing goes up and back. Man, it looks like he's getting shot with plates on. Like that's the only thing that really makes sense to me. But if that's not true, then I'm open to everything else.
Town Drunk, Toasted Charlie, and your generosity. Nate didn't agree with him either, but it's a tragic loss. It's absolutely horrible. If you're not a terrible human being, you feel that way. All right, Panda took a little to appreciate your channel since it did expose people I supported. Thanks for your service. I mean, we're trying to get away from that, guys, man. I mean, stolen valor sucks, and we keep people accountable, but that's not really what we're trying to do anymore. So especially after this is like kind of been, kind of eye-opening for a lot of people that maybe we need to be kinder to everyone. Right, crack and tactical EDC. Okay, might sound crazy, but remember what blank did with the pagers. Could something similar have done with this microphone? Microphone's on the other side of where the exit wound was. So I don't think so for that one. Thank you, brother. Macarco, $5. Any thought on the shooter missing and what hit him was a ricochet? That's exactly what we're talking about. Is a ricochet off of potential ballistic plates. And then once we get the super chats, Gary, I want to talk about what's that?
I think he's asking if it like hits something else completely.
Oh, I don't think so. That would be.
That would be one hell of a.
Yeah, I mean anything's possible.
It's possible. I doubt it.
But I think you would also. It would have had to hit metal or concrete. Not even concrete, I don't think. In some type of piece of metal, which you would have heard. A 30-06 round hitting metal would have sounded like another gunshot going off, which you don't hear. You just hear the snap and the sound barrier being broken, as far as I can tell. Right. Pride, once you think you figured it out, you're wrong. Good movie quote. Yeah, that's where we're pretty much at on this story for sure, man. All right. McCrocko again. Also, Rick Shea would explain the shallow upward angle if it was in front of Charlie, deformed slug. Yeah, I wish we could get the coroner's report, right? Like if we hear the entrance wound was vertical to the neck into the brain, that's going to tell us that's not a direct shot, right? But we don't have that. So Matt Drake, that gun won't fire. Look at the safety. It's in safe position. The scope in the way. Yeah, the scope on that. Did you notice the scope on the FBI gun they showed? How far back it is? Like it was for a 4-year-old. So that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Overlooked noob. How come no one is talking about Israel's prime minister announcing his death? I haven't seen that. I've seen conspiracies on it. We did an entire live stream on all the different conspiracies, guys, last night. If you want to go through those again, I don't know. I can't pretend like I have any idea whose motive it was. I don't think we even want to get into that, do we? That's probably not what we're here to do. Unless you want to give your take.
I think unless we have Alex Jones here, it just wouldn't be.
We wouldn't do it justice.
Yeah. I saw this video like right away. And it looked like to me your average CCW guy that had his opportunity to pull out his gun and start running. It was a bad move, and I think it's dumb. But I did see this, and I you guys can make what you will of it.
So, Gary, I talked about that at dinner with my parents tonight. Exact same thing. I thought something to think about here, guys. Utah Valley campus is a concealed carry allowable campus, which means there was probably a ton of students there with concealed weapons. And let's think for a minute. There's a shooting. It's chaos. Somebody may have pulled that pistol out to potentially try to defend themselves or look for an active shooter, right? Especially on a campus like this. That's kind of what my thought was too. I think that's very plausible. Ken G, $10 for looking at the math. A bullet hitting a target at 200 yards from a 30-06 at 1,450 miles per hour. How was he not shot backwards in that chair? How is he not shot backwards in that chair? It kind of seems like he was. I mean, he gets rocked pretty hard. What's your thoughts on that? 30-06 rounds not necessarily going to blow him out of the chair, or
I think too many people are kind of stuck on the Hollywood myth of how bullets impact people. Like that round is through a person typically before the body even responds, before it even moves, right? So not like the Westerns where you get shot with a shotgun and you get thrown through the saloon doors. Like people get shot with high caliber bullets all the time and you won't even see them move. I mean, there's definitely combat situations where you think you're shooting a guy and you think you're missing, and guess what? He's just DRD, dead right there. It doesn't work like that.
Very true. That is very, very true. It's like you said, the bah, 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 John Wick movie scene as each bullet hits you is not how it works in real time. You dorks legit drew a circle around the bullet, did we? Okay. Our bad, buddy.
I didn't draw any circles. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't see a bullet, but maybe. Gary Hughes investigates a new video out that shows him jumping from the roof and leaving the scene and claims you can see the rifle pretty clearly. Not in any footage I've seen that you can see a 30-06 rifle clearly in his hand. If you've got a link to some clear footage of that, I would love that, because that would figure a lot of things for us. But I haven't seen that.
I've had Gray Hughes on my show a couple times. He does actually a really good job of, like, all he does is basically do a lot of crime scene breakdown. So he does a pretty good, like, I don't know, virtual forensic analysis of whatever you want to call it. Like, he'll pull all kinds of crazy satellite imagery and go through and as well as additional CCT footage that you didn't even know exists. So I definitely want to check that out because Gray does do a good job on those things.
Yeah, we'll have to, again, if this is one of those fluid things where if he's got footage that shows us this kid's carrying a 30-06 as he flees the scene, that's actually going to answer a ton of questions for us. So we'll have to be on the lookout for that. The scope appears not be attached to the rifle. I think it is. It's just attached like 4 inches back further than it should be. Joe, no offense, but I thought I saw a video where the exit wound through the neck was clear. You could see after he was bleeding out. Am I wrong? I haven't seen a video of an exit wound. The only footage I've seen is from side profile and front profile. I don't have a rear profile video. Do you?
No, and I've looked all over for it. So if you guys have that, I mean,
Yeah.
you can send it to Nate, send it to us, services@ParamountTactical.com. I would love to see that footage. I have scraped the internet dry for that because I would have no issue. I would just say, hey,
Yeah.
here's a direct neck shot. Case closed, done.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either yet, Joe. But thanks, buddy. Send it to Joe. You know how to get a hold of me. Send it to me if you got it. Michael Wheeler, $20. Thank you. Would the F of freedom disappearing indicate the shirt folded and tapping underneath a possible plate? I think the 6-photo montage Gary showed earlier is the thing that makes me think the most he potentially has got a plate on, because that does not, you know what I mean?
It definitely.
And the side profile.
Yeah, the slow motion version of that definitely shows, and I don't know if it's tucking underneath a plate or the fabric's just folding, but it does show that. It does look weird. It just looks like the F disappears, but I don't know what to make of it.
Isn't Mossad? Yeah, I mean, that gets into the conspiracy side of things, right? It's an interesting one. I've seen people say this guy was a inexperienced shooter because he shot him in the neck, but then there's also the people saying that it's very symbolic, right? Charlie Kirk's power was his voice, and shooting him in the throat was actually a symbolic gesture. Guys, I don't know, man. Like we're in the realm of severe speculation on that.
Yeah.
All right, Racers Creed Diesel Auto, $20. Thank you very much. Why does it look like the bullet is intact behind him in the picture with the guy holding the cell phone? Everybody just keeps saying they saw it. They can see the bullet in that frame. Maybe you could pull this picture. I don't know what picture we see. We see a bullet. I'll keep moving through them as you look for that. Deflection similar to the Reagan assassination attempt and bullet becoming a disc shape. Yeah, I want to get your take on that, Gary. I'm not a ballistics guy. I was a commo guy. And once we hit this done with the super chats on refraction of the bullet off plates, like what? I'm not saying that I don't know if enough about it, but like, is that common? Is it likely, right, for something like that to happen? For refraction as it comes off, as I thought the round used to splinter, but if we're talking about a big high caliber round, I'm no expert on that. So maybe you could help us maybe break that down a little bit on your thoughts of, a bullet refracting off those ballistic plates.
So these plates right here are actually a video that I did on just this, right? I was actually testing steel and ceramic plates versus some composite plates. And what these are right here, I actually had the dummy in a head right here, and I had the plate angled at this angle. And I was hitting steel at an angle, and it was bouncing it directly into the head of the dummy. So
really?
Yeah, they do. And I recovered those bullets, and you can see, and I probably need to do another similar testing to that. But, I think that's absolutely possible. And, there's a little bit of me that I think that even potentially, I think there's a low chance of this, but even if it was like soft armor, the way that Kevlar works, it stretches and catches the bullet. And if it was catching the very top edge of even possible soft armor, it would, it may deflect it upward. I don't know about that. That is speculation, but we can definitely bounce rounds off plates into people. And yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. Like, that's one of the reasons they've kind of gotten away from metallic armor is guys up in turrets.
We're using ceramic typically now, right?
Well, even ceramic. So I did the same testing on ceramic. It'll deflect off ceramic just as easily as steel. But typically,
really?
like all the body armor that we had our Kevlar plates or
Yeah.
our ceramic plates that were covered
With
by
Kevlar.
Kevlar,
Yep.
so it would
Yep.
stop the spalling. But it's a real problem, and the only thing that really doesn't do that is like some of the composite plates.
Okay, got it. Thanks for that. VKP says, Gary, check your email.
I will do that.
Is there armor there that resembles the chest with pec and nipple? I don't think that they come with I don't think there's many plates out there that come with fake nipples, brother. I don't think we're going that deep down.
Not a
the
bad
rabbit hole.
idea for some real
Yeah,
low
it's not, yeah, going forward, it might not be a bad idea. Why can't they find out whose drone that was during the shooting? I haven't seen a drone.
Me neither. That's first
That's new to me. Shooter didn't take account, hide overboard, and clip the edge of the brickwork from the roof, and the bullet was tumbling and impacted. Hide overboard from 100 to 200 meters. Not really having that big of an effect. If you're zeroed at 100 meters and you know what you're doing, your hide overboard is not really impacting you here.
Well, he's saying that his muzzle didn't clear the rooftop, so it hit right in front of him and then tumbled 200 yards with.
Oh no, yeah. I don't think so. I appreciate you, brother, but I don't. I mean, maybe I'm not discounting any possibility, but that one I don't think I would. I'd bet my house on.
I'm gonna give you some tough love, and I'm gonna discount it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, though. All right. Kraken Tactical shooter didn't. Oh, we got this one. Heard somewhere else that the bullet went through armor as meant for handguns and bounced around internals and exited neck. Nah. I mean that guys, yes, bullets can refract inside of you and come out weird places, but it's very unlikely a bullet entering you this way would then come back out of you the opposite direction. That's not really how physics works. It might rattle off a bone and come out the sides or the back, but it's most likely not gonna 180 degrees. Not a 30-06 round if we're looking at that. Cortisum, thank you. Brett Hauptel, sorry if I said that wrong. Is it possible the thin plate isn't noticeable under the shirt? Not in a couple of those pictures, right? He's got that thin athletic shirt, but in the ones where we show the impact and everything where he's being shot, I can't tell if he's got plates on or not in those. There's nothing that tells me he doesn't have plates on in those pictures, Gary. To you, I mean, to your point, it almost kind of looks like he does have plates on.
Yeah.
All right. He really wants you to check your
I will check
your email.
Well, I got about 300 emails to go through on this topic alone, but I will get to them.
All right, we're trying to get to this now. I didn't realize how many people we had watching this stream. Wow. Thank you everybody for showing up to listen to me and Gary pretend like we're super experts. Hopefully we're doing some justice here. But we're gonna have to try to blow through super chats here, all right, guys, because otherwise we're never gonna get done. But thank you very much. All right, guys, an act of God. Charlie had to nah, not gonna read that one. Too much there, bro. You're lying, and you know it. He was shot in the back. Okay. Yeah, me and Gary are lying to you. Sorry for that. We're part of the deep state, and we're just trying to mislead you guys. That's our bad. Thank you for the donation, though. Shoot target from 200 meters away. See shockwave? Oh, I think maybe he's talking about testing that. All right, smartest man in the world, $5 Nate called you 4 days ago. Called AAC 4 months ago. Phone records don't lie. Answer the call. Gary, chat. I need to borrow Nate. Or 510. What do you?
For $500, I'll loan them out to you. For a full hour.
I don't know, man. I have a business phone. I don't pick up all the phone calls, brother. Sorry. Message me on Instagram. It's the best way, or email me. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Quit Toxic Ronin. There are companies that make spandex shirts that have plate pockets. Yeah. But also you would be able to see, but we're talking about ballistic plates, guys. Ballistic plates are through a shirt, right? From that very zoomed in angles that we have, those side profiles, there's pictures you can tell he doesn't have plates on, and there's pictures you can't tell if he has plates on, in my opinion. Gary, what's your thoughts?
No, I agree. I definitely think some of those pictures, it makes it very unlikely that he was wearing plates in some of those pictures.
Yep. Do they make body armor with fake areolas? We talked about that. No fake nipples typically. I mean, at least I don't know. Maybe they do. So many lies from the FBI. Why rushing? Yeah, I think the FBI has done a really poor job all the way around with this, mainly through reporting. Where's the TP USA footage? Sony camera to his left. That's a good question. They were filming that from behind. That would be very nice footage to get for us, wouldn't it? That guy who's got the camera right behind Charlie's head. But again, maybe that's probably with the FBI and law enforcement departments right now. Right, Fitzy, how do we get you two to the press conference to ask questions? He did not have a rifle when he jumped off the building. Why are they lying to us? Guys, I don't want to say I think people are lying. I think that there was a quote, Gary, I heard somebody say the other day that said, never confuse mal intent with ineptitude. And I think that we may be seeing some incompetence on some things. But again, I don't know, man. I'm not with the law enforcement departments trying to figure this whole thing out, guys. Like, they have access to information we don't as well.
I would tell you guys to go check out Gray's channel. If he's saying that he has zoomed in footage, that it's probably legit. I think he's a trusted source. I will say in that footage, he has something in his hand. It doesn't look like it's 40 inches long, and it doesn't look like it weighs like 11 or 12 pounds. I mean, he's kind of it.
It looks to me, I broke it down in 0.25 speed, Gary. It looks like he's got a backpack. You can see him pick the backpack up off the ground, and then he reaches back down for something else. It looks like, to me, it's like his baseball hat that fell off. But from
again,
what it's so grainy, and it's that speculation, you know.
It's a Rorschach test of a freaking video. I think that's part of the problem, because it's very hard to see what's going on.
So this is a good comment. Didn't see nipples in the impact still shots. That's one of the problems with what we're trying to figure out, is all the still shots that Gary shows of the impact. There's no nipples in the shirt anymore.
And at the beginning of this, somebody sent me a bunch of pictures where you can see Charlie wearing not only a neck, you see a chain on the side of his neck, and then you can actually see the outline of the chain on his chest. And then later on, when he's sitting down, you can't see that chain, you can't see that outline anymore. So that's one of the things that made me think, like, at some point in time, he may have put on some low pro plates.
Yeah. Again, it's hard because we don't, like me and Gary were talking about earlier, it's not like the Butler, Pennsylvania issue where you've got 20 different news organizations there live streaming it from start to finish from every different angle. We have clips from phones from at any point in, however long that was, was that the start? Was it right before the shooting? Was it 45 minutes before the shooting? We don't really know, guys. We're doing the best with what we got. Watch a video of him passing out hats prior. We do know early, guys. We've identified early in the day he doesn't have plates. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have them on when he gets shot, right? That's kind of where we're at between the two of us on that.
Yeah, I agree.
If it ricocheted off a metal plate, would we not hear that? Well, ballistic plates aren't necessarily metal. Also, man, on iPhone audio, it's hard guys. I can't even get a good judge of what the caliber of the round is. It suppressed off of that iPhone footage. All I can hear is a snap of a round.
The phones just screw up your audio. But with that being said, too, like you do a lot of shooting on steel. Sometimes you'll shoot a piece of steel, you'll hit it, and you won't hear it. Yeah,
that's very true. Yep, and sometimes I say that when I missed, so that way I can still count the round.
100%. You see it?
Yeah. All right, I would say the shirt be lifted if the rounds hit the back of the necklace, but no exit wound. I should say the shirt could be lifted. Okay, could be lifted and hit the necklace. Maybe. Open a Discord chat to people who have thoughts. I have a Discord. Do you have a Discord? I don't ever use it though. You guys got the comment section here too, where you guys can comment. I know we got 8,000 people in here right now, so thank you all very much. Christopher Robbins, $5. Why haven't they disclosed if he had a vest on or not? What's the issue? And if 30-06 round can't be broken down, why can't we see it when he jumps off? It can be broken down, guys. It's just not a collapsible quick system like a collapsible AR-15 that you could throw into a backpack real quick. As far as I know, right? Is there a
it would have two
Mauser style 30-06 that you can just take apart in 15 seconds that you know of?
Not the one they showed. I mean, that's for sure. And it's going to have 2 action screws at least.
All right. I think this is for you, Gary, if you want to read that one.
In your last video on the 1036 mark, the man behind him has a hand movement that coordinates with Charlie's collapse. Also, the background seems to be different. All white, no people versus lots of people behind him. Well, what I can tell you, let me see if I actually downloaded this because I thought this was kind of important.
Was it this one?
No, there's a lady that comes on, and I literally saw this right before. But we can look at that. So this is what they're talking about as saying a projectile, folks. That back there does not look like a projectile. If that's what you're claiming,
that footage is way too grainy to see a bullet moving at 1,500 miles an hour, guys.
It looks like glare or something off of something in the back there. I'm not sure what it is. I'm fairly certain, like 99.9% certain that is not a projectile I feel pretty confident about. Here we go. You can keep taking super chats. I'll try to find this.
Yep. Thank you very much for, I think that was to Gary, but that's a big dono. So
thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Can't say that word on YouTube. We'll get demonetized. Username, please give your thoughts on skull enlargement upon impact. You heard of that before. I've not seen an exit wound. The backdrop had no noticeable blood. Skull enlargement. Well, I mean, if he was direct hit to the neck, he wouldn't have it. But I mean, for a refraction up into the skull, potentially. I don't know. I wish I could tell you I was, a human physiology expert on how that would work. I don't know if you have something on that one, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the slow-mo. I mean, even in that shot sequence I showed, like his head kind of goes up and it gets all puffy. I don't know that
that's so fast though too.
Yeah, like it's I don't know.
We only have we have a 1 second frame of him getting hit and falling over, so that'd be really hard to tell in that amount of time, I think.
Yeah.
The FBI lied to us so many times, and this just alone, I don't think it's compensable. Why would they blow smoke up our ass 51-ish times in a row? And do you think they actually got the guy? Whoo, that's in the conspiracy theory land. Man, I don't even want to get into it. I am not confident that the person they have is the person that took the shot. That's all I'll say with that one. I'm not saying it's not at all, but I'm not willing to bet my house on it. I would say that. I don't know, Gary, if you got thoughts on that.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, I don't think, and I talked about in the video, like I've been extremely disappointed with the FBI under Cash Patel. I mean, it's
and I am too.
Super disappointing. We thought we'd see some accountability. We thought we'd see some answers, and I see more obfuscation. And just, I feel like more smoke being blown up our ass. At least the Biden administration was like, "F you, we're not showing you anything." This one's like, "Hey, we'll show you. We're going to tell you everything, and then release a bunch of shit that's already been seen." So there's some parts of it that I find it even more frustrating. Nate, can you share that the Premiere Pro screen for me real quick? I do want to. I don't know if this will put it to bed or not, but. I know everybody keeps asking about the guy behind Charlie.
I want to address a conspiracy theory. That's been going around. And that is that there is a man in a white hat and a white t-shirt standing just off of Charlie, just as he was shot. And this man adjusts his hat and then scratches his cheek. And there are conspiracy theorists all over social media, all over the internet, that are saying that man is giving signals to the sniper. Man. Friends, I want to share the truth with you today. The man in the white hat and the white shirt is my friend, Frank Turek. Frank Turek is a man of God. He's an honorable man. He was a close friend of Charlie's. Charlie meant a lot to Frank. Frank mentored Charlie. He loved Charlie, and he was invited to take part in that event with Charlie. I work with Frank regularly. I do all sorts.
All right, so she goes on to say who he is and elaborates on that further. I think you guys can look up Frank Turek. This is true. There's lots of media out there with him and Charlie. So if you still think after that he was doing hand signals and he was part
No,
of,
I don't buy that. But I did just have I just got breaking video sent to me from the guy who was in the front row, and I think this is going to be an important video.
That's cool. Let's go.
Let's pull it up right here. We got so many of them up here. Let me figure out where. Here we go.
Pull this off.
All right. So this video literally just got sent to me. I don't think anybody's seen it yet. This is from our viewer that was there in the front row. This is at the start, and Charlie is throwing. This is a backside shot of Charlie as he is throwing stuff to the crowd. And as you can, okay, back it up. Let's see. Back it up here again to the start. Yeah. So I think we can confirm at the start of this whole thing, he's definitely not wearing ballistic plates.
Yeah.
That's but I mean, I think we kind of were there too, right? We already kind of figured that one as is. So what we need is kind of a timeline of if he put him on, when did he put him on?
Yeah, we probably need somebody to confirm that with his team, and or if
Yep.
we see some sort of autopsy report that would come with potentially if a round struck a plate, some of that information should be in the autopsy report as well.
100%. They should be able to tell that. All right. If the shooter shot that place on the roof, he hit a branch before it hit Charlie, guys, the odds that your round is gonna impact and land where you want it to after you've hit any type of vegetation it's not impossible, but yeah, I don't know. Going through a tree or a branch is going to lower your chances of hitting, I think. Also, what tree? What tree was in the way?
Trees out there.
It's a giant. We've broken down every angle from the amphitheater to the different roofs, and it's a pretty wide open, lower bold amphitheater with no vegetation in there. All right, question: even if the bullet bounced off vest he had on, regardless vest or not, what are the chances he would have survived that shot? Period. Well, if that was a direct hit with a 30-06 round to the carotid artery, 0% chance.
Or if it was in the chest, also 0% chance. I think that again right there. If it was 2 inches lower, that's still so close to his heart and major vessels. I don't think that would have been survivable either way.
No, I put out a video sort of covering it well before we knew Charlie passed away, and I said in my first video, guys, essentially I didn't believe there was any chance that Charlie would survive, just because that injury is, it's just, even a refraction, right? A refraction round into the carotid artery, like you're dead for the most part, guys. Unless you had like a literal surgeon on standby, then maybe you could pull it off. All right, Charles Halbert, it's so crazy that security didn't scout with drones after the Butler incident. If you guys, and I'm sure Gary, you've looked at that campus is like a nightmare for security. That bowl of an amphitheater with 270 degrees of raised rooftops. There's no way they could have. Maybe with drones, right? And that might be something going forward. But could you imagine trying to secure that location from a potential sniper?
Yeah, and I think people get confused of what PSD is, personal security details, folks. Those guys, there's going to be 4 or 5 guys. They don't have a lot of power. That they're going to do it. They may do a site survey, but their primary purpose and intent is to keep people away from within arm's reach of Charlie. And I think ultimately Charlie knew the risk that he was taking, and some of those risks, especially, without spending millions of dollars, you just can't mitigate all those risks. I do like. My wife was asking about this, and I was like, very dismissive. She was like, "What about why do they have drones?" I was like, "Babe, first of all, you got to get FFA approval to drive drones over people. Like drones are a pain in the ass, but from a security standpoint, like there may be something going forward where security drones are a thing. I think we need to just go in business and create that, Nate. But I think it's a legitimate question that should be maybe at event security. I think is there's a real market there, and not just a market, a real need for it, right?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start trying to get through these quicker, guys. I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. for a flight out to Texas. All right, love you guys for all the donations, but I think we're going slower than we're reading these slower than they're coming in, and I don't want to miss them because you guys are so generous. All right, look at the scope mounts. Front mount is barely on. We talked about that. We got this one. Any chance stealth plate could be a body mold?
Sure, there's a chance.
The only way you're getting decurtated posture. Oh, I can't even say that word. Arms folding the upper chest. Yeah, is that fast from a stroke or mild brain or brainstem injury too will cause that as well. I'm just too stupid to actually say that word. And through the neck, stopped or passed through the shoulder. Maybe. I'm on board with you guys. I personally think it retracted off the plate and entered the neck. I'm not sure the caliber used. That's the weird part. I mean, yeah, we're kind of. I think if it reflected off the plate and made that big of a hole, it had to be a decent size round. It's bigger than a 5.56 round.
So real quick, if there's a conspiracy to cover this up and there's a big cabal behind it, chances are it was a 30-06. The question is, because that's what was reported and that's what they'll, whatever. But it doesn't necessarily mean it was that rifle. But, again,
that's a great point.
We're dipping our toe deep into conspiracy world.
We're putting the tinfoil tinfoil on our heads for that one. All right, Courtney, $10. I think cavitation moved his shirt. My guess is the attempted chest shot, but due to elevation in his neck, no plates, Neanderthal guess 308 is possibly suppressed. So suppressed 308 was my guess, just based off of the sound of it. But again, I'm going based off of an iPhone audio that I'm trying. That's 150 meters away. So who knows? Check the unequal CC Heart 3 protective compression shirt might have replaced with metal plates. I think we, me and Gary, are both on board that there's 100% possibility that he went and replaced and put plates on under that compression shirt because we can't see his nipples we can't see the smoking gun nipples in the actual when he gets shot. We can't see him anymore. James Burnett, $50. Thank you very much for that big one to either me or Gary. I think that one's to Gary. John Solomon reported the night of the shooting that he was wearing armor, according to law official close to the investigation. John Solomon reported us the same thing twice. John Solomon reported the night of the shooting.
Never heard of her.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, and one of my Green Beret buddies was talking about just now, texting me. Supposedly that a professor found this kid up on top of that roof like a week before messing around with something and then didn't notify the police about it. So
really
take that for what it is. When he jumps off the roof and he's getting up, look at the shadow in slow motion. You can see his body shadow and it looks like a shadow of a gun. Then he looks at whatever is in his right hand. Yeah, I've slowed it down and I don't see it. Some people see it. That's the hard thing, man, is like we can look at the exact same grainy, shitty footage and come up with two completely different thoughts. You know what I mean? The footage is so bad, it's really hard. My biggest thing is running with a long gun. On multiple frames, we see him running on the roof. We see him running from the big roofs. And when, as Gary would know, I'm most likely not carrying my 30-06 at port arms running vertically with it. I'm carrying it at my side like a regular human being. And you would think you would see at least the buttstock or something like that. And we don't see that at all. When he's running to the edge of the roof, I don't see anything that tells me he's carrying a long gun. But again, guys, hard to tell. Rifle was set up fine. Scope was in the right place. Okay. Gary, what's your thoughts? Do you think the scope's in the right place on that FBI rifle? I guess it depends on who's shooting it.
It does. It looks really far back, but I mean, that doesn't really mean it. Look, we teach long range for a living and people show up with scopes that they've been using. I'm like, my God, how you been using that? And it's fine, but it looks weird. Probably not perfectly correct, but it's usable.
Yep. If the bullet hit body armor, would it rip, tear, and a hole in a shirt? We talked about that. It actually is a still frame that looks like there is a hole through the shirt here. We've pulled that one up a few times. But the FBI, CIA helped fake his death. Yeah, okay. We're in super deep tinfoil there, brother. Please explain how his wedding ring jumps from one frame to the other. I've seen that footage is super weird. I don't know if that's an AI footage somebody has made afterwards or before. I have seen that footage and it's fucking creepy. But in the world of AI, it's hard for me to believe things like that. But if that's the case, and I don't know, man, it's It's hard for me to believe that the whole event was AI when I got a guy in the front row who just sent me videos that nobody's ever seen before of him obviously standing there when Charlie got shot. So I'm not here to I don't know, Gary, are you in the realm of this was all a big fake AI video and everybody there is complicit and it's all Charlie is now in Boca Raton?
No, that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah, that's the maybe InfoWars. Check that out. They might talk about that one later. Autopsy reports will answer a lot of questions. This is what we need. This will pretty much answer most of the questions. All right, AJ, thank you very much. Watch the guy, brown, olive green, sunglasses in the front. He puts his right hands up. Yeah, we talked about this, right? Activating switch sensor to his reaction. Yeah, I don't think we have complicit something from Charlie's team personally, but there is a weird thing with some hand things. But like, guys, you know how you watch me on my stream do this all fucking day long? It's like we mess around with our hats and stuff as human beings pretty regularly too. All right, the quote called "Hands on razor, never shoot malice." Oh, there we go. So that's the one I was trying to say. Somebody had said it a little bit different, but that's the FBI. If he was plated up, I'd have to ask the question of assigned security for level of readiness awareness. Either they missed something or turned to blind, or his security was doing a good job and said, "Hey, something is sketchy about this. We want to make sure we elevate our security posture." Right? What's your thoughts on that, Gary? That doesn't necessarily having him put plates on doesn't feel like negligence necessarily to me.
No, I mean, I would question his security if he like that whole time he's out there not wearing plates. If he was my protectee, he'd be wearing plates. He'd have some sort of body armor on.
Yep. And he usually, and to our point earlier, he almost always does. So that's another thing that's a little interesting. Hitting the chest with the plates would be obvious. It kind of looks like that though from the footage. Occam's razor's principle of reasoning that says the simplest explanation with the fewest assumptions is usually the best one. Yeah. Typically, until you get into assassinations, and then we've found that that's not always the case.
Weird.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Lord. You're not stuck here next to Canada, China, Canada. They've used the tragedy to steal what firearms we have. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be that movement for it. I haven't seen that too much on this one so far. Lyle, $20. Thank you very much. From the video from behind above Charlie, it looks like the guy running on the roof before the crowd is ducking from the gunshot sound. Don't see how he could get up and quick and start running. Yeah, it's all weird. The whole guy running across the roof. He obviously didn't stop to break a weapon down because you can see the shot goes off, the crowd panics, and he is sprinting. So that's another one for me that's a little odd. All right, my God, you guys are killing me, man. I'm never gonna get out of here. If the shooter shot from that place on the roof, it hit a branch before it hit Charlie, so it didn't pass through him. We talked about that. We don't think so. Wouldn't you mind talking about the force of the impact on the plate and neck coming from a 30-06 shouldered? Charlie Kirk's body been pushed back more from the time of impact. What do you think on that? If we talked about that, but your thoughts on that? Would it have blown him off the chair if he got hit in the plate? I don't think so. If he got hit in the plate, Charlie's a big boy, guys. Also, Charlie's wasn't he like 6'6"?
He's 6'5", and yeah, that is one of the things. Like the thing that I have is that he goes up. You see his whole body lift up, which is freaking weird if he gets shot directly in the neck, right? You would see like something, but his whole body lifts up, which
I agree.
Can't be explained.
Yeah, especially getting shot through the flesh like that. I think you would see a reaction after it went through him. But to your point, that's why I thought it looked like body armor. He gets rocked. You see his whole body, his whole chest, his whole shirt, his whole head gets rocked back. So I think that kind of lends into the potential of body armor for sure. Dano, rifle for the sound of the crowd effect, but a silent 357 sig up close for the job. Again, we don't think that. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to. The timing of that, guys, to pull those triggers at the exact same time would be. Otherwise, we'd have heard two different gunshots, right? It's got to be simultaneous for two gunshots to go off, and for us to only hear one gunshot. Gary.
I think he's proposing it's the only gunshot, but there's no way even if it was suppressed, guys. Like I don't know, we ran into this during the Butler issue. Like people don't understand that suppressed doesn't mean quiet, and anybody in the crowd. If I was 20 feet if I'm in a big crowd and I'm 20 feet from Charlie and I shoot something suppressed, like everybody around me is going to immediately look and see that I'm shooting a firearm. So it's not as quiet as you think they are. Even some of the even 300 black, like you're still going to hear some.
But it was also loud on
Yeah.
the iPhones. Like you can hear a gunshot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Timothy McGee, conspiracy theory, believe that it was a hit and the guy was a decoy that they caught. I mean, that's going to be your typical fall guy, right? Like, and I think there's, if we get into the realm of conspiracy theory, that's always a possibility. Matt Martin, Charlie openly said he wears body armor before a debate at campus. Don't forget, there's a lot of AI altered images circulating. I agree. However, we have video of him not wearing plates early, but to your point, he was well known to almost always wear plates. So it is kind of odd that this was the one time he decided not to. We got to explain that away somehow. Walk-in, $10 late here. Have you dressed the family, turning the suspect in? As far as I've seen from you, there have been no thoughts on this. Yeah, I think it's odd that he went through all this work to escape, went home, and then immediately admitted what he did to his parents. I'm not shocked. I talked to my parents. It was my mom's birthday today. My parents both said they would have turned me in if I would have admitted that to them. So, and they love me. But yeah, had I assassinated somebody and I admitted it, your parents probably would have turned you in too, if they're decent human beings, I think. I don't know, Gary, if your parents, would you turn your kid in if you came home and said, hey, I assassinated Charlie Kirk?
Me and my 15-year-old had this conversation. He was like, good. But, it is, I mean, that just adds to this whole tragedy, because that is tragic that a father has to do that. And it's just another family destroyed. And I don't know what to say about that.
Yep. Derek Tyler, did Patel not talk the break pattern with the feds taking over local authorities because he was hooked up? As Dan H would see, thanks, guys. I don't know. I don't know what Patel's even in charge of or what he's even doing. There's a video story I put up of him at the press conference, just literally like, what's going on? So this doesn't seem like he's
embarrassing.
Yeah. Tim Kennedy sold me fentanyl. $20. 30.6 puts off more of a boom than a crack. I thought so too, but again, iPhone audio, the shot in the video, that is pretty odd when they announced the caliber of the guy's gun. To your point, Gary, you got a thought on that? I mean,
I videotape guns for a living. You can't tell from audio anything. Like if you don't have anything to compare it to, a suppressed shot that's fairly loud, like shooting 5.56, sounds like the same
as a pistol, as a rifle. Yeah. Yep.
The audio in all these phones compresses it, do all kinds of weird things. You can't tell shit from it.
Yep. Thirsty Salt, $10. Didn't they claim they found spent casings inside the action of the weapon? He would have had to clear it, disassemble, reassemble later, insert. Yeah, that's odd. That's one of those things I've heard. A lot of guys that I know are snipers. I wasn't a sniper. Talk about how they're so conditioned to expelling a round. That means he wasn't a professional. Maybe in a tactical combat situation, but in an assassination situation, not expelling that round and leaving evidence is kind of the smart thing to do. Thoughts on that?
No, I agree.
Joe, Nate sent you a link to the video. It isn't original, sent on Instagram. Neck right. We'll have to check it. Yeah, sorry, brother. I got to get through these, man. Again, we're cooking through. All right. Are you saying the podcaster shouldn't lead the FBI? Maybe if it was a podcaster like me or Gary that have a background to potentially, or a law enforcement background, but maybe not Cash Patel. Dan Bongino, maybe, but I mean, I haven't been that impressed with him either. As tutelage to Cash. Generally think that the kid was used and framed. I mean, honestly, I don't think we're going to find out anything different than this is the shooter. I think that this is going to be the story the FBI goes with, whether in, again, conspiracy theory land. You think we're going to find out any other different story than this, Gary, or is this the story and then we're going to put them away?
Real or indifferent, we're going to hear nothing but a confirmation for sure. He's going to confess. So I don't know what to make of that.
Yep. Illo's fan, $10. I wonder if anyone looked at the person from walking left to right. Alleged shooter was climbing off the building shooting. Person walking from left to right. That's the alleged.
In that footage they released, there's a person walking. There's also a car that drives by, is what they're talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. The backside of it. All right, smartest man in the world. $500. Gary, my IQ is over 200. You can't afford me. Nate just left AVM. Tell AC he needs to focus on special ed. Gifted students read his slop. Ask me how I know. Chat. Would you like? Brother, I wish I could. I wish I could understand what you're trying to tell me, man. Gary, I'm not trying to be rude, man. But
who is AC? I don't know.
I don't know, brother. I appreciate you though. Thank you. American Slav, $5 after Trump shooting bulletproof plexiglass would have been standard. Yeah, I mean that's probably where we're going to get to now on college campuses for these debates. Ben George, $10. Don't think there was a time for him to put armor on after he sat down. He was shot early in the event after sitting. Wasn't it like the second or third question? I don't know. I have no idea if it was 2 minutes into the show or 2 hours into the show, guys. Gary, do we have any?
I would love a full, uninterrupted footage of that event. We could put a lot more information together.
Yeah. So some people are saying he wouldn't have had time, but also like there's a tent there. You very easily walk behind that tent and slap those on. Like he's passing out all his stuff. He walks behind the tent, throws the stuff on, sits down. I don't know. Yeah. That's kind of what we're still. Oh, I wish like me and Gary could have sat here and been like, we figured it out. We're better than the FBI, but we're trying to give you guys the best information that we have with the pictures and videos that we have. So can you explain if he felt the concussion of the shot before the bullet struck him and if 200 shot would cause his actions after being hit? Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty standard, the impact of that type of round, especially if it hit him in the upper spine or brainstem. I think we actually saw the physiological response that you would expect to see from that. Gary,
I don't think he felt anything. I think he was dead immediately.
Yeah, I agree. Maxwell Burt, $20. Hey, fellas, former Marine, longtime rifle shooter here. I know it's hard to hear with the phone audio for certain angles, but that sound shot suppressed me. Curious to what y'all think. We talked about that one, buddy. It's just so hard to tell from iPhone audio. Again, I could show you videos of me doing USPSA pistol shooting, and it would sound almost like a 30-06 round on an iPhone. Yeah. You know. Guy in the blue shirt, security guy in the white shirt, or the most suspicious white shirt. Yeah, we went over that entire thing and kind of, I think we both feel like we're not going into the setup by his own team. For us, apparently he declined multiple invitations to Utah because of threats. Interesting. Kind of odd though, because it's a conservative campus, 80% Mormon. It's a place you wouldn't have thought it would have happened.
Got to be safer than some of the other campuses you went to.
Right. They had a drone fly over from what he said. Please confirm with your buddy who was present at the location. Red hat shirt guy. I will ask him. And because I'm sure neither of us are done covering this, or the world is done covering this. Bearded Viking Woodworks. Thank you, brother. Had the honor of calling Charlie a friend. He had me on a show a couple times last year and this year, and I just had to say that this is shocking. Wasn't a politician, was just a pundit and didn't deserve it. Devastated. I'm sorry for your loss, man. And it's impacted me pretty hard, more so than I thought it would, especially after watching his wife speak last night. Hearing about his daughter trying to run to him because she was scared of the sound. As a girl dad myself, kind of gutted me. Gary, I imagine you probably are like everyone else that's, and I don't know about you, Gary, but just watching that from our career is just visceral for me. Yeah. Just seeing that type of thing now on anybody is just really, really triggering for a lot of us, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. Mystical Ripple, $5. I think we're getting there. Former protective service here. Security teams know about the drones, but usually spend and optics are subject to the event handler. Usually it's a no. Yeah, the college campus too could very easily have just said no. Could actually be a soft armor ballooning out from the impact failing upward. Soft armor. Gary talked about soft armor potentially, less likely, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about a 30-30? I'm not an expert.
I don't know what the relevance is, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think it was a 30-30 round.
Okay. Sorry, Nate, I have to correct you. Brainstem injury would cause a decerebrated posture arms. Yeah, isn't that exactly what we talked about?
Yeah.
I thought that's exactly what we said. Okay, maybe I said what I said wrong, but I thought that's what I was saying.
There's another term too that we talked about earlier. Arms extended straight forward, elbows locked. There's definitely a
fetal posture.
Yeah, where it's also colloquially known as the Lazarus effect, but they do the
Lazarus effect. Yeah, there it is. Yep. That's what I was talking about. Maybe that's a different again, guys, I'm not a 18 Delta, so don't quote me on anything. Shooter said the gun was unique. Are they releasing things the shooter said already? That's new to me. Just so everyone knows, he was not wearing armor. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. You've solved it for us. Nick Corvello, $20. Hi, Gary. Discovered your channel through the event coverage. Curious of your explanation for why the shot, if without the chest plate, would still killed with the shot being so up on the collarbone.
Well, it was still on the left side, so we're getting shot. What we're talking about is right here. The devastating effect of 30-30, 30-06, not 30-30, but 30-06. I don't think this is survivable. We still have a ton of blood vessels, lungs, everything else right here, and then depending on
your
your
heart
angle,
as well.
yeah, I mean it's within, you know, all of the blood vessels, arteries, and everything else that are leading into the heart, the veins that are leading to the heart. Like most likely, those would be absolutely decimated. Anything on the left side of the chest, like it's probably not survivable.
Anything with anything in the upper thoracic and with a high-powered rifle round, your odds of survival is incredibly low. And I mean, even like unless you're talking pistol rounds, and still you could get killed from a handgun round there too. All right, Jimmy Boy in the South. $50 with the big dono. Thank you very much. I watch both your channels regularly. Much respect. I'm a retired Marine Corps Scout sniper, a real one, not a claimer. I'm on board with Gary's analogy theory. It just ballistically makes sense. There are so many variables with this. Looking at the impact of the round, I agree with Gary. I don't see how he doesn't have plates on. But we have to figure out where these fucking plates came from, right?
Agreed.
That's the mystery, I think. So, but thank you. George Zinn, initial suspect, witness 9/11, made a bomb threat. Yeah, that guy's weird. That dude's thing, the old man that started screaming and said he was the shooter, that's very weird. Topic of discussions with surgeon or their medical IFAC could have been patched up. No, absolutely not. Not where the shot placement is. You would have needed. So I talked to Aaron Love. I don't know if do you know Aaron Love, Gary? Air Force PJ, retired Air Force PJ. We talked about it right after, and he said if I was there with all my equipment on the scene right next to him, I would not have been able to save his life. And they're the highest trained trauma guys we have on in the military, guys. So just
I don't think he even died of blood loss. I think it was all neurological and or I mean it just blew out his spinal cord.
Yep, agreed. Cypher with the big dono. Thank you very much. How are we so limited on camera angles and such low video quality when there's so many people so close? I mean, because people got iPhones and not everybody got their iPhone out filming when the shot goes off. There is a lot of audio and a lot of video.
I think there's thousands of hours of video that we haven't seen too out there. I mean, not everybody posts their shit on social media.
Well, and I just got that video we pulled up. It's brand new. Probably no one has seen that but us. To Gary's point, it's going to be a fluid situation, guys. I also got some pictures of behind the stage, not the shooting, unfortunately, but the aftermath with the blood. I'm going to send you those after, Gary, so you can see. I don't know if we'll figure anything out from it, but it's interesting. Sure. His ring is called a hinge ring. You can see him move it between the figures on all the past debate bottoms up. Okay, so he can it's probably one of those rings that you can do kind of like magic tricks between that rotate through the fingers. It could be. That could explain away the AI stuff. Thermal scopes find shooters in the future. I mean, yeah, I guess. Like if you had a thermal scope out there, daytime, would a thermal scope work on a roof in daytime, or would it be too hot up there?
I mean, it would, but so would binos. I mean, the fact is like you don't have enough people on a PSD team to dedicate to counter sniper threats. It's just not what they do. Yeah, it's not.
And at that location, 20 different rooftops across almost an entire circular. Yeah, synchronized shot, bro. I mean, that would be. We're talking high level professionalism if two people rang those shots out at the same time. So, Vet's talking. What's up, brother? Just because I want to make you read one more super. Yeah, you guys, I know you guys do this on purpose whenever I'm out of time. Not that I'm complaining. I appreciate you guys. Stephen Walsh, there was a forensic professor that explains the raise up was a nervous system response if the bullet severed upper spine. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that, but that doesn't that doesn't
explain
make
his
sense for this t-shirt
Yeah.
raising all the way up over his face.
Yeah.
I get the body rock, but he's also got a compression t-shirt on. Compression style, not like a super tight one, but he's got a compression style t-shirt on that's going to fit a little bit tighter to him. And it's not the whole shirt either, Gary. It's a part of the shirt raises up. It looks almost like this when it raises up, right?
So you got that one piece, but then again, you do have a section that kind of billows up, and it's weird because it is a tighter shirt. Like even my shirt right now, like if like suddenly the wind blew, this whole thing wouldn't come up. But what it looks like, there's a mass. It looks like there's some sort of vest underneath. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Marine Vet 0308. Where is the exit wound? I think that's the big one. That's also a big fucking big problem for the direct. That again, we talked about that earlier. It's a direct hit with a 30-06 round to the neck with no exit wound. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I was there at UVU. I'm telling you, from the moment I got there, something was off. Thousands of people and zero security. I mean, there's not going to be campus security, brother. I mean, we're talking about a college campus in Utah, and the Utah Valley Police Department is very small. The security is provided by Charlie's team at these.
So I was watching a live streamer video, and that's not necessarily true because there was some security there on the upper deck. They were doing interviews facing away from Charlie when the shots rang out, and in front of him they had a whole section taped off, and then a cop comes running forward, and they're like, "Who got shot?" And anyways, so there was some security. They had some areas taped off that they didn't want people in, and there was some sort of law enforcement on site, without a doubt.
Yeah. But to my point is, this isn't like a president showing up with an entire Secret Service security detail and a counter sniper team and SWAT teams. Like, that's not what's going on a college campus for a debate, guys.
Probably a 4 or 5 man PSD team.
Yep. True Vintage, thank you. Into the realm of conspiracy and outside the actual shooting. Once again, we see a reference to the number 33. I don't know anything about that, but I keep seeing that everywhere. Maybe it's like this occult thing that goes into it. Again, I'm not. It's more tinfoil hat than I know about. I doubt Gary's probably into the maybe, I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know you well, but
I think it's a Freemason reference, but I don't know the answer to it.
Okay. Does anyone come out and debunk explain the private jet? No. And that is super weird. That is something that supposedly did happen, and private jet randomly 22 minutes after the shooting flies out of Provo Airport, which is maybe a 9-minute drive on the highway, 9-10 minute drive, and turns off all its radars and disappears. Very weird, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Halo fan, $10 second part. The guy walking from left right would have been right under the shooter when the shot fired. I think this is important. I had a dream that I was carrying my bag, trying to figure out the green zones in the USA because a dozen states had curfews and hot zones. I'm scared that this event is a precursor. America is fed up. I don't think it's a lot. There's a lot of Civil War talk going here. I don't think it's that. I do think we will see more political violence, whatever that means. I just think that tensions are so high. The media. What do you think, Gary? Do you think this is? I'm not to the point of where like we're about to, go into full World War III Civil War with each other, but I do think we're entering a new kind of era of potential violence. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think as every good American, you should get out there. You should be armed. You should be trained. You should have med training. You should have some contingency plans with your family. I mean, you should be doing all those things. Be, just independent Americans that are ready for anything.
Yep. Showed up late. Might have discussed it, but if it hit a plate, wouldn't we see shirt damage? We talked about that extensively. Just watch it back if you want to. Sorry, late show. More discussion on stuffing the rifle down his pants. Yeah, we pulled up pictures of a 30-06 in someone's pants, and I think we're in the agreement there was no 30-06 in his pants. Maybe in a backpack decompressed, but not in his skinny jeans, guys. Oh, AC equals angry cops. I don't know angry cops, so then the comment doesn't help me either. I don't know him personally. I am a fan of his channel. Guy that was speaking his question about mass shooting confirmed he was the second person to ask Charlie a question, so it couldn't have been that long. Okay, well then there you go. That's I don't know the timeline of events, but if that's the case, that's weird. Does that mean that Charlie didn't, hey, come out, throw out his t-shirts, say hi to people, and then go back, mic up? Keep in mind, go back behind the tent, throw on your plates, throw on your mics, get all mic'd up. They do that stuff as well, right? God bless. Thank you. We're getting here to the end, I think. How about the shooter's car at campus, yet he's in southern Utah? I don't know about that. His car on
I've heard a bunch of reports, I guess, of like a gray Duster or something like that. I don't know what to make of it, because they showed him supposedly walking to and from. I don't know what the car, where the correlation is.
Okay. But here's the thing: we also saw him walk home, or either walk to the event or walk home through the neighborhoods. So I don't know. From the interview with the guy, he said he was speaking to when he got hit. The guy said there was about 20. Okay, so here's our problem, guys. Is one viewer just told us it was the second question, and another person tells us it was 30 minutes into the event. So you see where it starts to get difficult. Those are two very different things. Thank you for what you do. Appreciate it. I can't say that word, brother. Decorticated, arms folded to the chest. Decerberated, arms extended. All right, you're an 18 Bravo, right, Gary?
Yeah. Oh, here dragging my knuckles.
Yeah, Gary's even more knuckle dragging than me, guys. So if I can't say the words, I don't know why we're passing it off to you. We were not 18 Deltas, so give us a break. There was, if it was a lone shooter, I would have. If it was not a lone shooter, I would have to imagine he would be broken in grueling interrogation. Man, I don't know. They're not going to tell us much. All right, I'm not going to even say these things, but appreciate you. Guys, you are literally just donating this to try to get us to read this, all right? Posturing damage for the brain stem. Got it. I'm not saying the words anymore. I'm not making myself look like a fool. Chuck Dante Dollars, can't find the original video anymore, but there's a video looking from behind towards the crowd. All I can find is original now. I have not seen a behind Charlie video of the actual gunshot yet, personally. I don't know if Gary, you haven't either, have you?
No. I will say it seemed like there was a bunch of videos that I didn't freaking record right off the bat, because I thought this was kind of an open shut case. And when things got weird, I went back to look for those videos, and we do see, I couldn't find a lot of videos I saw initially. So, I mean, take that for what it is.
All right. American Gun Chick. Mike Glover said, everyone claiming Kirk had plates on is essentially fools and morons. All right. Well, then that's Mike Glover for you. I like Mike.
I don't want to.
Maybe we're dumb. Mike. Maybe you got us. I don't know, Mike. Again, I don't think me or Gary have said we are 100% confident he has plates on. What we are saying is this is very, very odd footage of the gunshot hitting him. Very, very suspiciously odd. Right.
I just need Mike to give us an explanation of no exit wound and the physics involved with that. And I'm down to listen to whatever other theory there is.
All right. Go. Okay, here we go. The vid I sent you, you can see blood coming from behind his right ear, which wouldn't correlate with the angle. Video sent me. I'll have to go into it. Looks like an entrance exit wound. If we got footage of Charlie from behind after the gunshot, please send it to us.
Yeah, love it.
These guys are lying. They know it. Charlie was hit in the head. Throat was the exit wound.
Again, the neck. Crook again. You're right.
If you got
the back of the head.
If you got pictures of that, we would love to see it. Lingo $10. There's no exit wound because life is weird, but in 1950 we made a heart attack gun. The shot at ice bullet. I think it's actually just because life's odd. Fruit for thought. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what an ice bullet gun is, but please comment on any possible alternate shooter locations other than the main one in the roof. Oh, there was about 50 different possible locations in that place, guys. That would be an entire video on its own for sure, which we could potentially look at. Rob, thank you, brother. We did see a small black spot on the t-shirt in one of the close-ups. Yep, it is conceivable that was an entrance wound and the bullet fragmented, leaving a small exit through the neck. Again, I do think if he's got plates on, there's potential that that's a hole in the shirt. But guys, have you ever seen a situation where a incoming high-powered rifle round comes this way and then refracts 180 degrees out the other way? Does physics even allow that?
No.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Spatter over the right shoulder, exit wound. I think the splatter is coming out of his neck there on that. Private jet has ties to you know who, and I can't read that one because we'll get banned. Newsweek has an article regards to his Discord account. It tells his friend that the gun is unique. Okay. On Discord, maybe he said some stuff. Missed my first super chat, bro. I'm not trying to miss them. It's that they're coming in so fast that I'm trying to get through them. Sorry if I did. Appreciate you very much, though. Was the round recovered? We don't know. We need the autopsy report for that. Andy Young, $5. Remember, the Mormon capital of the world is also the ex-Mormon capital. They tend to be pretty left-wing. Really? In Utah? I don't think Provo, Utah is very liberal. Maybe the campus. Every college campus has aspects of that. All right, Jay, $20 an interview with the kid that spoke Charlie last. He says the event lasted about 20 minutes. Charlie arrived, tossed some hats, and started. There was no time from when he arrived to sitting down and starting to put up a vest. Okay, so that doesn't see. This is another one. If it was the second question that was asked, Charlie, then how was that 20 minutes into the? Again, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying we have 3 different time amounts when this happened. From what we've heard, 2 minutes in, we've heard 30 minutes in, and we've heard 20 minutes in. So, JD knows AC. Use your head and phone. This guy really wants me to figure the riddles out. Davey, $20. The FBI security tape was all I needed. So see, I know we are being lied to. Charlie Kirk had become critical of a supposed ally and expressed concern. Yeah, we've talked about that with, you guys are killing me. To be clear, I agree with you guys. Definitely plates. Hold on. I'm not saying definitely plates.
Yeah.
I'm saying possibly plates.
It's the only unifying theory at the moment. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, within all the context we've talked about, no exit wounds, a 30-06 used. If we're going, let's put it this way, Gary. If we are going by the official FBI report, it does not make sense for there not to be plates.
That's right. And if they come out tomorrow and they show pictures of an exit wound or whatever else, I'll be the first to get on here and yep, I was wrong.
Yeah. So I think we're still trying to figure it out, guys, one way or another. But again, we tried to give every little bit of information we could. To me, it looks like social media might cause the neck wound on Charlie's right side. I also see a chest wound. Check the footage in slow motion. I mean, I'm sure Gary's been through the footage in slow motion over and over and over again, like I have. It's also hard to see. Yeah. Sounds like he was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald magic bullet. It does kind of feel like a magic bullet right now, for sure. A magic gun with a magic bullet. Recent video, there's a small object flying at his head. We went over that quite a few times and do not believe that you could see the bullet itself. Didn't know crooked lines could shoot straight, but seriously, wouldn't the head neck almost explode with 30-06 200 meters? Not on an entrance wound, actually. An exit wound. You could think straight through the flesh. Gary, I mean, we're not talking an entrance wound that's going to be that big. Right? This is not a 50 cal round. But there was no exit wound supposedly, so that's part of the problem. But to your point, yeah, you would think there would be way more damage than there was. I
would actually expect less damage from the entrance wound and see a much more severe exit wound, which we don't have at all. So there's weird things going on, which can be explained by a deflection of a round.
Yep. All right, hate to be crass, but a lot of people have never shot anything with the 30-06. Hell, a ballistic 5.56 tip can damn near rip a deer's head off. That's not what I've seen shooting deer with the 30-06, but okay, we'll go. I'm not going to get into that one. Spatter on the right side of the shoulder, not wound side. Turn off super chats, get some sleep. We got like 5 more. We're getting there. Bullet went into the side and it was an angle to the spine, the bones out the back, blood to the side. Can you provide insight on how the shot could have happened from the roof if the tent would have been impeded in the shooter's view? We don't know the tent impeded the shooter's view.
I know that it didn't actually. So there's actually a video. There's a picture from the FBI, if you want to take that for what it is, from the supposed shooter's location. You can clearly see, like, that angle is not what people think it is. It's not as high as you think it is. It's not as acute as you think it is. It's probably a 10-degree slope or something like that. It's not that much. And you can clearly see, you would be able to see Charlie Kirk completely from that location at around 140 yards is what it actually is.
Okay. Where's the autopsy report? We definitely would. We're going to be interested to see it. It's going to answer a lot of hopefully answer a lot of questions. Some people claim that it happened right before or after 51 Republicans in the Senate. House voted. That happened an hour after he was pronounced dead. They voted on that, which is also very, very weird. Can just agree on that probably. I'm not saying that has anything to do with it, but I do say that it's very odd you decided to vote on that right after this. Interesting discussion. One thing for certain, we'll never know more regardless of conspiracy theory and not. I agree with that. I think this is the official story. Gary, I think we talked about that already. We got what we got, and it's going to be up to us to all speculate to try to figure out something different. If he was wearing metallic plate, wouldn't we see more fragmentation on wounds? And is it in general?
Maybe? I don't think so.
Not necessarily.
It's a very short distance from here to here, folks. Even if it fragmented, all those fragments, it's just like a shotgun, right? It takes a while for that shotgun to spread. From here to here, there's not enough time for even fragments to separate that far. So again, that could be an explanation of why we see such a large entrance wound to begin with. So I don't think we would see more fragmentation than what we see.
Got it. John Doe, $20. Just want to say Charlie came out, threw hats to the audience. They shot in the video, went over, then sits down, leads the scriptures, and baits begin. Puts the rest second, about 25 minutes thing. Okay. So 25 minutes in. I think, okay, we almost here. Did we make it to the end? Made it to the end. Anthony Lotta, $5. All right, we did it. If I missed any, guys, I'm sorry. Almost 200 super chats tonight. Almost 9,000 concurrent viewers. Absolutely crazy. Thank you very much to Gary. Obviously, we've both been racking our heads over this together for the last couple of days, trying to figure this out together. And so I don't think we have any definite answer, but I think that I think what we went over is pretty interesting. Any last stuff, Gary?
No, thanks for contacting me. And, we kind of threw out the idea of doing this chat tonight. So I think it was good, man. We'll do it again in the future. And, I know you got to do some traveling. But if you guys got any other information out there, you come across footage or whatever else, you can send it to either one of us. The point here is we want to get to the truth. We don't want to just throw our spin on it. That's not my intent. And I know that's not Nate's intent either. We want to give you the real truth, and we're just trying to weed through what we see, give you our opinions on it. And, that's all we can do.
Yeah. And guys, if we end up being wrong one way or the other, we get it. Like, information's going to change, right? We're just trying to give you guys our perspective from our careers and stuff like that. So thank you all very much. It's been great. I got to get to sleep. I got to get up on a flight in like 6 hours, and I'll catch you all in the next one. All right. See you, Gary.
Good night.
Yes.